Right, so we're going to get them paired up today. So the first thing we're going to do, these are where I keep the rollers. There's 8 hens in there. Get this mask off my face. And there's 8 cocks and on the right hand side there. So the first thing we're going to do is get them in, get the hens into the cocks there. And what we're going to do with this section here, as I said yesterday, is get 6 pairs in here. So we get the roller hens into the cocks. That'll free up that section, and then we'll go into the cocks here. And as I said, that section is going to be for mainly the almond birds. So we'll pick out, there's 3 almond cocks there, you can see. Here's one of them. There's another, and there's another. As I said before, that's grandson, father and son. So that's 3 of the selected parents sorted. And then it's a question of what else do I want a selective pair. I think I'll stick that young D-Roy, beautiful pigeon. I think I'll stick that young D-Roy in there. Maybe that red cock in the middle as well. And that'll be 5. And then it's just a question of what other specific parents do we want, you know? Is it a black project? Is it a tortoiseshell project? Is it a, you know, that dun turned out to be a cock there. Do I want to get some recessives? The dun might actually be the bird to put in there. And then that'll leave a space in here for 12 cocks, which I'll open pair with 12 hens. So it's going to be a busy few hours. The first thing I'm going to do is get all this bedding out. It's not too bad, but it gives me a chance to start afresh for the breeding season. So there's 5 of the cocks picked out already, and I just need to figure out the last pair. As I say, it might be getting that dun cock to a yellow hen, and I'm sure of breeding 100% recessive birds from them, which would be helpful for both the flying project and just keeping the recessive gene alive in the loft. So I'll get this cleaned out and then we'll get started. So that's the first job out of the way. Get the hens in with the cocks. Some of them have been paired off last year. Some of them will be new parents, but they'll be left to their own devices there. They'll take a box, and once they're a little bit more settled, I'll put the grills back in, and then the nest balls will go in a couple of days. But some of them have paired off already there. They must have been last year's parents, I'd imagine. And yeah, the rest of them will get themselves going. So that leaves us this section empty now. So we'll get those 6 nest boxes. I'll split them for 2 each level. We'll get them going, and then we'll get the almonds and the checks in. So these are the 3 almond cocks. So straight away, that's 3 out of that cock section, which makes it easier. So as I said, that is grandfather bouncing around there, his son nearest to the camera, and that's this year's grandson there on the back left. So 3 super pigeons, and we've 3 check hens for them, should I say. And to be honest with you, I'm kind of half tempted just to let the check hens in with them. So we'll get the check hens out now and have a look. We're going to put these lads into the cock section first. So I say the advantage there is I'm trying to get these cocks down to 12 birds, and there's 3 gone already with another one to go. So that's the 3 almonds out of here. So we're down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 17, 18. With another 3 to go will bring us down to 15, and then we're going to have to move 3 birds that we basically won't be breeding without. So put the 3 cocks in now. So there's the 3 of them in. Grandfather and grandson there. That's the son of the grandson. We'll get this lad out of here and give him a box. 3 lovely pigeons. So I said I was going to put the D-Roy in as well. He's always out in the aviary fighting. That's probably where he is at the moment. Yeah, there he is. In the middle there, having a go. So we get him in as well. haven't actually had this lad in the cage yet, so I might just put him in to get a quick look at him before he goes in. When it comes to structure and shape, you're always learning. Every time you look at the birds, you're learning a bit more about them. So I actually haven't had him in there. We'll get a look at him and see. Similar to the way he is in the loft there. He's a lovely stance. Unbelievable feather. So he's going to go in as part of the almond breeding project. Of course, Leroy is a recessive red almond, so he's going to go in there as well. And that's 4 cocks. We've another 2 to pick out. So what we'll do first is we'll get the 3 check hens out. We've 1 in the corner there, 2 and 3, and then we need to pick. We could put the D-Roy hen in there. We might actually put the D-Roy hen in there, but we're going to throw these birds in the pen and just see what we're looking at one by one. You'll have to bear with me here while I get them all out. So there's one of the checks. Now, so there's our 3 check hens. I see the one on the right there seems to be last year's, and then the 2 on the left are this year's. So they're going to go into the almonds, the D-Roy, and to be honest with you, to save myself the headache, I'm just going to let them in and let them pair off. We'll need 3 other birds to go in there as well, which will complement the almond project. So we might look at the D-Roy, and we'll almost certainly have to look at a red. I'm going to grab that D-Roy now and throw her in and just compare her to the chicks and see what we're dealing with. The lads are ready to go in there looking for their hens. So if we can grab that D-Roy, if she's not out, which she's not, she's up there on top. She might be a little bit on the young side, although it's amazing the way they come into form at this time of year. So there's the D-Roy, and ideally you don't want her pairing up with the D-Roy cock, just because you're sure what you're going to get. It's also an almond pairing, which isn't the end of the world, but isn't ideal either. So we'll stick a couple of reds in there, and then we'll get a look at what's going on. Oh, this is last year's, or a red from 2 years ago. I'm worried she might be a little bit on the big side for me, but see how she fares up in against these hens. And she goes there. So she's a beautiful pigeon. And actually, now that I look at her in with the others, there's not that much of a difference at all. Lovely stance. Lovely stance. Yeah, she might be going in. She might be going in. I'm just trying to give you an idea of what it looks like in real time. There's no science to this. It's more of an art than a science, as they say. There's another red. These are what we used to call, or still call, probably the black-beak reds. So I think this is that pigeon's daughter, if I'm not mistaken. Sorry, this pigeon I'm putting in is the mother of the red that just went in, if I'm not mistaken. And we'll see what she's like in there. Bit of a fuller pigeon. Yeah, bit of a fuller pigeon there, as you can see. So I'm probably trying to breed away from that slightly. Now we're being very, very picky here. We're being very, very picky. So how many hens have we got in there? We've got 6. So all those pigeons in there complement almond breeding. All those pigeons in there complement almond breeding. So although I'm going to save the bottom pair, and I'll actually throw a 7th pair in there. I'm going to save the bottom pairing for a dun to a yellow, just to breed lots of recessive colours. and just to keep that gene alive for the year that's in it. I could put a black in there to start to breed black almonds, and what would we have going in to the main section? Otherwise we'd have that black agate hen and the black maybe going in. So we've 6 hens out there, and I think we'll just go with those 6 and get them in. We also have a couple of almond hens as well. So yeah, decisions. The almonds are younger. Ideally, I don't really want to be locking them up, just because I'm not here enough at the moment until we get into the house. So I might open pair some of those almond hens and just get the selves in with the almond cocks. Yeah, we're going to get the 3 checks in with them anyway, for starters. That's going to be number 1. We'll get them in now. Right, so a slight change of plan. We're going to open pair those 3 Treks, 3 almonds, perfect colour combinations for keeping the almonds dark. There's a terrible arrogance that comes with almond breeding in the pigeon fancy. It doesn't need to be as complicated as we make out it is. For the moment, those checks are perfect. Arguably this one here is a little bit more heading towards kite, but you know what, it doesn't bother me at all. They'll go in like that and they'll be fine. They're in grey form. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use those 2 bottom boxes as locked up pairs. I'm going to let them 3 almonds and 3 checks open pair. So I'll get that divider out of the middle, and that'll give me two selected pairings with 3 almond check pairings. So that'll be perfect. But as you're starting to see, this time of year is an absolute headache, but it's enjoyable as well. Right, so there we have last year's almond hen. She bred some lovely almonds, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this year's cock, well, last year's at this stage, and a 2025 cock in with her. Now, one of these cocks she's been paired to already. Just have to bear with me there for the bird's eye view. And we'll just get a look at the 2 cocks and see which pairing suits her better. So there's the 2 cocks in. Now, him on the left has been paired to her already. He's a good quality pigeon, lovely feather. And for handiness sake, again, this is not a massive difference in the type of those 2 cockbirds. As you can see there, if anything, the lad in the middle is maybe a little bit on the tall side. But that's her cock from last year, so that's a simple enough decision there. He's gonna go off into the second section with her. Handy pairing. So the last pairing we're going to go with in that section is, we're going to actually leave that D-Roy in this open pair section. I'm actually going to grab that black self, which you see here, and I'm going to pair him to a young almond hen. And the hope there would be that we're going to breed some black almonds. Another colour you would have seen in the early days. I'll overlay it in the video here. Very small typey pigeon, and there's a very small almond hen in there. So we're going to grab him and her, and that'll give us 5 pairings in that first section. So that'll be plenty. Then we'll just get into the open pairing then. But this is how quick the plans change. That D-Roy was originally going in. As you can see, the almond's kind of a smaller pigeon. D-Roy was originally going in, but we'll start getting some black almonds going, I think, which would be a lovely colour to get back into the loft. So that is our black almond pair in there. Just have them in the sunlight to get them a little bit used to each other before they go into the pen. Both young birds. So I find it's better to get them a little bit accustomed to each other in the light, in the sunlight, before they go into the pen. That pairing I didn't really have in mind, to be honest with you, but looking at it now, they're 2 tiny pigeons, and yeah, really looking forward to see what comes from them now. As I say, the goal there would be black almonds, but we'll take any kind of almond, and we'll even take some more blacks, because there's a great appreciation for them again. It was a colour years ago that people didn't want. I think reason being was a lot of the early long face crosses He's a cheeky pigeon. A lot of the early long face crosses would have been black selfs and they were huge. I'll actually overlay a picture now, giving you an example one. As you can see from him, when he's head on, you can see both of his eyes, which is something I love in a Limerick. The rule used to be years ago when they were head on, you shouldn't be able to see your eyes, but that was coming from the long face crossing. And it turned the pigeons into big old buff monsters. So that'll be a very, very interesting pairing. Get them into the bottom bit now. And we give the open pairing a bit of thought. So we need to get 12 from these. So we've 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I have a plan in mind for that black almond cock, so that'll be the first to go. And then we have to get 2 out of this lot, which won't be too difficult, to be honest. 2 is an easy number. Then we'll pick the 12 hens and they'll come in on top of them. So we'll start sticking them just out in the aviary there and getting a look at them. Nothing really sticks out as something that I don't want to be breeding from. This pigeon might be a little bit strong for a young bird, but we really have to look at it out here. So I'm trying to pick one out of these to get rid of, which is not easy. That pigeon on the left's beautiful. That's the pigeon there I'm worried about. He might be a bit strong. His muffs are broken, in fairness to him. He's a bit of power in the neck. There's not a whole lot wrong with him either. There's not a whole lot wrong with him at all. But 2 have to go. That lad is staying. That's one of the older cocks there. He's staying. The black almond has to stay. Get a look at this double I got. I'm actually worried a little bit about his tail. It's not something I want to breed into them. He seems to carry his tail a little bit wide and long, but we'll get a look at him in there. He's another great character, although I'm after wrecking the ring on him there, but I'll fix that myself. He's another great character. Yeah, I think for the moment we'll take the dun out anyway. Although, as I say, he's a handy colour. Yeah, I think we'll take the dun out, and we might actually leave 13 cocks in here, because I can't really find a fault as such in much else. So we'll cram the hens in and we'll let them do their thing. I might actually leave that one there as well. How many have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15, 12 boxes. 15 will be a lot of pairs. Yeah, we'll get the dun out and one of the Redegats. So these will be the cocks for 2026 breeding. Redegats, Blackagats, D-Roys. No red self, funnily enough, but we'll add some red self hens in. But they're going to be I think I counted 13 cocks. Some lovely ones with them, but we'll go get the hens now. So these are the hens. So as you can see, a lot of the colour is going to come from the hens this year, which is grand, not by design, just how it worked out. Some gorgeous pigeons in there, showing lovely style and shape. Double agats, almonds, black agats, D-Roys, 2 yellows, yellow agat. Beautiful. So we'll get them in, and that's 2026 kicked off. These couple of cocks here will go in with the spare hens. And they'll breed around on their own. These are all the spares this year, but they have a purpose this year. They are... Is that a cock over there? Which is very strange. They have a purpose this year, which is they're going to breed some birds for flying out. So anything in here is really worth its weight in gold. We'll get them flying. And we'll get a few bred in here as well. So I'll put the spare cocks in here. But yeah, that's 2026 kicked off finally. And there we go. The fun will begin. They'll play with themselves there for the next day or two. They'll pair up and they'll eventually get themselves into the boxes. So that'll be the start of it. There might be some of last year's pairs in here. There's only one off the top of my head, but yeah, some of them might be last year's. There's a lovely pair of agats already starting to take to each other. That's a young hen and a 2025 cock. She's trying to take a shine to him there, but the D-Roy stepping in. A D-Roy to a red agat would be nice as well to get some D-Roy agats. But yeah, they'll start to do their thing there. The cocks are all trying to get them up into a box. And she seems to be the most keen of them all. So exciting times. These lads out here would want to. Oh, he's got 2 hens out there. Or he's got 3 now, and he's had enough of them. Can't say I blame him.
Imagination consuming these flowers still blooming. They're caught in a fire. Here's the answer in the phoenix to the question of my life. I could be screaming hallelujah if I could only turn back time, take back all those things I said in the tempest of a moment. But all my soul is gone and left me, and in the depths he begs for death.